Hi everyone, hope you all are good. We are here for grade 6 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password is provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 6 and then click on view all lessons. There you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter 2 variable equations. And the lessons we're going to cover today from the chapter are identify independent and dependent variables, solve word problems involving two variable equations, complete a table for a two variable relationship, write a two variable equation, identify the graph of an equation. Please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. Here I am on grade 6 math. The chapter we're working on is two variable equations. Let's just start with the first lesson, that is identify independent and dependent variables. Okay, let's just skip this lesson. The next one is solve word problems involving two variable equations. Okay, so we have to solve the word problems that involve two variable equations, right? This equation shows how Venus earrings are related to the amount of time he spent working at the drugstore. The equation is m equals 14 times h, right? The variable h represents the amount of time he spends working at the drugstore, and the variable m represents the amount of money earned. After spending 1 hour working at the drugstore, how much money will Venus earn? So the equation you are given is m equals 14h. You need to calculate the value. If he worked there for 1 hour, how much money he will earn, right? So h equals 1. Basically, you are given 1 hour. An hour is the time, right? So you are given the value of the variable h. You simply need to replace the value of the variable in the equation. You need to plug in h equals 1, right? So simply replace the equation with h equals 1. So that is m equals 14. That means after spending 1 hour working at the drugstore, Venus will earn $14, right? Let's just start with the test questions. This equation shows how the total number of books Russell has read depends on the number of months he has been part of a book club, right? So the equation is B equals M plus 2. M represents the number of months he has been a member of the book club, and the variable B represents the number of books that he has read. After belonging to the book club for 5 months, how many books will Russell have read in all? So the equation you are given is B equals M plus 2. Here is the given equation. M represents the months he has been the member of the book club, and B represents the number of book he have read in those months, right? You are given after belonging to the book club for 5 months, you are given M equals 5, right? So you need to replace the M with the variable. That means B equals, the equation is M plus 2. Replace the M with the variable. So here you have 5 plus 2. So B equals 5 plus 2 equals 7. So the correct option is 7, right? The correct option is, that means after belonging to the 5 months of the club, he have read 7 books in all. The correct option is 7. Got it? Very good. Okay, the next one is the equation shows how the length of Lexi's essay depends on the number of hours she spent writing this week. P equals age plus 18. The variable age represents the number of hours she spent writing this week, and the variable P represents the total number of pages that have been written. After spending 2 hours writing this week, how many pages will Lexi have written in total? So you are given the equation that is P equals age plus 18, right? Age is the number of hours. So you are given h equals 2. So replace the 2 equation h with 2. So which is the correct option? How many pages he have been written, sorry. Which is the correct option? The equation is, yes, P equals h plus 18. Replace h with 2. So 18 plus 2 is 20. That means after 2 weeks of writing, Lexi have written total 20 pages. The correct option is 20, right? Okay, the next one is, this equation shows how the length of Lacey's hair depends on the number of years since he has last haircut. The equation is h equals 13 times t. The variable t represents the number of years Lacey's since her last haircut, and the variable h represents the hair length in centimeter. Leslie got her hair cut 1 year ago. How long is it now? You have to calculate the length of the hairs, right? You are given h equals 13t. So the question is, you are given the hair the last haircut he have 1 year ago. So which is the correct option? Yes, the correct option is 13. Basically, you need to replace the t with 1, right? The value of the variable t equals 1. So replace t equals 1. The correct option is h equals 13 times 1, that is 13. The correct option is 13. Very good. This equation shows how the time required to ring up a customer is related to number of items being purchased, that is t equals p plus 7. The variable p represents the number of items being purchased and the variable t represents the time required to ring up the customer. How long does it take to ring up a customer with one item? So which is the correct option? The item is one, right? P represents the item and T represents the time required to ring up the customer. So which is the correct option? Replace the P with one. So the correct option is, that means the time required is, very good, 7 plus 1 is 8. So the correct option is 8. The equation shows how the total number of hair bands Kelly owns is related to the amount of money she spent on additional hair bands. H equals D plus 1. The variable D represents the amount of money she spends on additional hair bands, and the variable H represents the total number of hair bands she owns. With $13 to spend on new hair bands, how many hair bands can Kaylee own? Which is the correct option? Yes, you need to replace D equals 13, right? So 13 plus 1 equals, very good, 14. That means the total hair band she own is 14. The correct option is 13 plus 1 equals 14. The correct option is 14. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson, and the next lesson is Complete a table for a two variable relationship. So basically, you are given the equation now and you have to complete a table. You are given the variables value of one variable, you need to calculate the value of the other variable, right? Let's start with an example. Read the following description of a relationship. The sea turtle at a zoo is 3 years older than the stingray is 3 years older than stingray is. Let S represents the stingray's age and the T represents the turtle's age. You are given the equation that is T equals S plus 3. Complete the table using the equation T equals S plus 3. So you are given the equation that is T equals S plus 3. You need to calculate the value of the T for S equals 1 and S equals 2. So first of all, you have to calculate for S equals 1. So replace the equation with S equals 1, right? Plug in S equals 1. That is 3 plus 1 equals 4. That means when S is 1, T is 4. That means when stingray is 1 year, turtle is 4 year, right? Okay, then the other value you need to calculate for S equals 2. So replace the S with 2. So 3 plus 2 equals 5. That means when stingray is 2 years, the turtle is 5 years. The correct option is 5. So the missing values are 4 and 5. That's how basically you have to calculate the value of the one variable in the equation and you need to calculate the value of the other variable, right? Let's just start with the test question. On each necklace Sam makes, there are six more purple beads than silver beads. Let S represents the number of silver beads and P represents the number of purple beads. Complete the table using the equation P equals S plus 6. So, which is the correct option? You need to calculate the value of the variable P and you have to replace the S equals 3 in the equation, right? So the equation is P equals S plus 6. Simply replace S with 3. So the correct option is 6 plus 3 equals 9. Yes, the missing value is, got it. The correct option is 9. Very good. Read the following description of a relationship. Brittany is determined to become a concert pianist. If every week she practiced 3 more hours than her piano teacher assigns. Let A represent the number of hours of practice and C represent the number of hours of practice completed. Complete the table using equation C equals A plus 3. So you need to calculate for A equals 1. A is the number of hours of practice. So which is the correct option? You need to replace the variable A with 1. So 3 plus 1 equals, yes, it is 4. The correct option is 4. The correct option is 4. Read the following description of a relationship. Whenever Franklin's teacher assign an essay to write, Franklin always writes 2 pages more than the minimum. Let M represents the number of Let N represents the minimum number of pages and W represents the number of pages Franklin writes. Complete the table using the equation W equals M plus 2. So which is the correct option? You have to replace m equals 1 and m equals 4. So which is the correct option? 3 and 6. Yes, it is. 2 plus 1 is 3 and 4 plus 2 is 6. The correct option is option number 1, that is 3 and 6. Okay, the next one is read the following description of a relationship. In a board game, the player who makes the last move receives a 5 points bonus for ending the game. Let S represents the number of score before the end game bonus and F represent the final score. Complete the table using the equation F equal S plus 5. So which values are missing? You have to replace, you need to calculate the value of F for S equals 1 and S equals 2. So which is the correct option? Yes, the correct option is 6 and 7. Option number 1 is the correct option. That is F equals 6 and 7. An electronics store has 10 permanent employees who work all year. The store also hires some temporary employees to work during the busy holiday shopping season. Let A represents the number of temporary employees and B represents the total number of employees during the holiday shopping season. So complete the table using the equation B equals A plus 10. So you have to calculate for A equals 1 and A equals 3. So which is the correct option? Yes, the correct option is 11 and 13. Very good. The missing values in the table are 11 and 13. Option number 1 is the correct option, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson, and the next lesson is the next lesson is write a two variable equation. Okay, you are given with the statement, you need to statement, understand the statement, and you have to write down the two variable equation, right? For this, the description is very, very important. Read the description very carefully. Also, the table is also very important, but I think the important thing here is description, right? Just look at the example. Sasha listens to 10 minutes for an audiobook every day during her commute to work. Let D represent the number of days commuting to work and M represents the total number of minutes Sasha listens to audiobook while commuting. Complete the equation that represents the relationship between D and M, right? You are given M equals the missing number time D. You need to find the missing number, what number it is. Let's just read the description again, right? Sasha listens to 10 minutes of an audiobook every day during her commute to work. So the missing number is 10 because every day she read she listens for 10 minutes, right? So that would be M equals 10 times D. That depends on what day it is. So the equation is M equals 10 times D. The correct option is 10. The missing value is 10. Let's just start with the test questions. A professional dancer spends 1 hour every day stretching and the rest of her daily practice time on her routine. And rest of her daily practice time on her routine. Let P represents the number of hours of daily practice and R represents the number of hours spent on the routine. Complete the equation that represents the relationship between P and R. R equals P minus what number it is, which is the correct option. Yes, it is 1, right? Because in the description you are given she practiced 1 hour daily, right? So that would be R equals P minus 1. The correct option is 1. Very good. A farmer has 10 employees who work all year round and he hires some temporary employees at harvest time. Let B represent the number of temporary employees and C represents the total number of employees. Complete the equation that represents the relationship between B and C. So, which is the correct option? C equals B plus the missing number. B is the employees, temporary employees. C is the permanent employees. You are given the permanent employees are 10. So you have to do C equals B plus 10. Very good option number. Yes, that is 10. The correct option is 10. Read the following description of a relationship. Raymond read a book about the monster who is hired to scare children. The monster earns 9 gold coins for each children it scares, right? Let C represents the number of children scared and G represents the number of gold coin earned. So, if he scares one child, he will have 9 gold coins. You have to complete the equation that represents the relationship between C and G. So, which is the correct option? G equals the missing number times C. So, which number is missing? G equals, which is the correct option? Yes, 12. How? 9 coins for if he scares one children. So that would be G equals 9 times C. How 12? Where is the 12 in the question? That is 9. The correct option is 9. Jonah uses 3 tomatoes to make each bowl of salad. Let S represents the number of bowls of salads and T represents the total number of tomatoes he uses. Complete the equation that represents the relationship between S and T. So, which is the correct option? T equals the missing number times S. Which is the correct option? In the question you are given, Jonah uses 3 tomatoes to make each bowl of salad, right? That means for one bowl of salad, she used three tomatoes. So the correct option is T equals 3 times S. Yes, that is T equals 3 times S. There are 7 cherry trees in a lateral's orchard and he wants to plant more. If it takes him an hour to plant each tree, let H represents the number of hours lateral spent planting, and C represents the total number of cherry trees he will have. So, which is the correct option? Yes, the missing number must be 7 because there are 7 oak trees there already have, right? So, the correct option is C equals H plus 7 is the correct option. Cats, spicy processors come in packs of 6. Let P represent the number of packs and B represents the total number of bratwursts. Complete the equation that represents the relationship between P and B. So, which is the correct option? Yes, that is 6. The correct option is 6. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. We just move on to next lesson. And the next lesson is identify the graph of an equation, right? You are given with the graph and the equation. From the equation, you need to see which graph is the correct option, right? Either you can use graph or you can use the table. First, you have to find the missing values, then you have to see which is the correct option, right? Okay, so you are given y equals the equation describes a relationship between x and y, that is y equals x plus 2. Complete the table and select the graph that shows the relationship. You need to, the equation is y equals x plus 2. First, find the missing values, right? So the missing values are replace x equals 1 and x equals 2 in the equation. The values of y are, you need to replace the x with 1 and 2, right? So the equation is y equals x plus 2. Replace with 1, 1 plus 2 equals 3. Replace with 2, 2 plus 2 equals 4. So the missing values are 3 and 4. Now you have to see the table. X is 0, y is 2, right? On this point, x is 0, y is 2, right? You just need to match these points on the graph. X is 1, y is 3, right? X is 2, y is 4. Then x is 3, y is 5. That means the second one is the correct option, right? You need to complete the table first, then you have to match the values from the table with the graph and you can find the correct option, right? Okay. Complete the equation describes a relationship between x and y. Complete the table and select the graph that shows the relationship. So which is the correct option? You need to find the missing values first. The missing values are y equals x plus 7 is the equation. Replace the x with 2, so 2 plus 7 equals 9. Here you have 9. Then x with 3, so 3 plus 7 equals 10. So here you have 3, here you have 10. Just match the values, right? X is 1, y is 8. Here is x1, y is 8. Just match this point, right? Okay, then x is 2, y is 9, right? Then x is 3, and y is 10, right? So the correct option is option number 1. Which is the correct option? The correct option is the values you need to find 9 and 10 are the missing values, right? Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, the equation describes the relationship between x and y. Y equals 4x. Complete the table and select the graph that shows the relationship. So you have to complete the table. Actually, you need to find the value of y at x equals 2 and at x equals 5. So which is the correct option? The missing values are 4 times 2 is 8 and 4 times 5 is 20. They are 8 and 20. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, the equation describes the relationship between x and y. Complete the table and select the graph that shows this relationship. So, which is the correct option? missing values are y equals x minus 1, right? So 2 minus 1 is 1 and 3 minus 1 is 2. Yes, the missing values are 1 and 2. Option number 1 is the correct option, right? You have to simply replace with x with 2 and x with 3. So they are 2 minus 1 is 1 and 3 minus 2 is 3 minus 1 is 2, right? Okay, the equation describes the relationship between x and y. Complete the table and select the graph that shows the relationship. So which is the correct option? You need to find the missing values for x equals 3 and x equals 5. So which is the correct option? 9 plus 3 is 12 and 9 plus 5 is 14. So that means the missing values are 1 y equals x plus 9. So which is the correct option? The correct option is you need to replace the x with 3 and x with 5. So 9 plus 3 is 12 and 9 plus 5 is 14. So option number 2 is the correct option, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 6 math. The chapter we were working on is two variable equations, and the lessons we have covered today are solve word problems involving two variable equations, complete a table for two variable relationships, and the one we just did is write a two variable equation and identify the graph and often the graph of an equation, right? So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we just did. So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday 5 to 9. Or either you can join me in the interactive session that would be daily from 4 to 5 and from 9 to 10. So if you have any question related to the lessons we just did, you can ask. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. No questions. Okay, then that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye, everyone.